It's always a pleasure, of course, to catch up with Damon Jackson. And Damon, I'll just get right to it. What are you most proud of, man? Is it a four-fight UFC win streak, which is tough to come by, or is it your daughters picking up the wrestling medals, man? Which one makes you happier?
Like it's something that I was always kind of worried what I was gonna do when I was done fighting. I was like, man, like just no more competition, no more something like that for me. That's always kind of been about like me competing. But when I get out there and watch them compete, it's the coolest freaking thing. And now that they're all picking up on wrestling, it's like, man, I can like just transfer everything over to them now, and I can still live through them. So it's pretty cool.
It's such a wild feeling, right? Do you get more nervous for them going out on a wrestling
Oh,
mat than even for yourself getting in a cage?
yo, 100%. Yeah. Because I know like my preparation. I know I'm good to go. So I know like the nervous kind of they definitely kick in, but they're not as bad. But when I see them, I'm like, man, what are they thinking? Like, what can I say? Like, what can I help them with? Or like, how could I show them this last minute technique that's gonna make them win the match or something like that? So it's cool, man. It's definitely an experience. And I'm coaching the Rockwall Middle School, so I have two different middle schools that I'm coaching, and that's the reason why I started coaching is because my oldest was wanting to try wrestling, and I'm like, hey, I don't want her just in there, with somebody. I want to make sure she's taking it serious and that things are good. So that's why I started doing it. But it's pretty awesome. I love the energy for those kids.
It's so awesome, man. It's such a
Yeah,
neat thing as a parent. All right, Dame, let's talk about your career, man. I mean, obviously, last time out, very, very emotional win for you. We saw it. I know you were going through so much, outside of the cage. I guess, what was the process like for you moving on, Dame? I know a lot of people have to deal with loss, and it's difficult, man, but it seems like you've been able to move forward. So what was the process for you?
yeah, man. I think that fight was the key to the whole. Just being emotionally stable. It's like, you sit around for a whole week before, like most people, it takes about a week before the funeral happens. So you sit around that whole week just kind of like feeling bad. You like think bad, you think about bad things, you think about all the negative stuff and like things you didn't do and things like that. And, like having that fight just keeps you so busy. So that whole week I was like, laser focus on, what I had to do. And, and then just having that extra pressure, honestly, it was just a great feeling to have so much on me. And that's kind of how I feel about this fight coming up, man. It's like this is my shot to break the top 15. I have that extra pressure on me, and it's always worked out great for me in the past to have that added weight, that added pressure of I need this win, I need to do this or whatever. So it's just I'm feeling great right now. I'm happy with everything, the way things are going, and definitely it's that whole fight was rough for sure, but I think that fight helped me a lot. Getting past everything, and then to have the win the way it happened was just like something you couldn't have writ up. Like you couldn't have wrote that up. So it was just it was nice to just get out there and keep my mind busy.
I love it. I'm curious, does the action nickname stand? Because it was a beautiful tribute, but I also wonder if it might be, a little reminder of emotion that maybe you don't want before a fight.
Oh hell no! No, I was thinking that actually the opposite. It's just kind of like it's nice to kind of remember that like my brother was 37, so like it's not like that shouldn't have happened. It was just it's a reminder that action. It's a reminder of him, but it's also a reminder of just not taking advantage of day to day. And I'm just wanting to go all out with my family. I want to see them as much as I can and take advantage of that because it was like right after that week, the following week, my grandma actually passed away, and so I was extremely close to her. And she the last year or so she was going through some dementia, and she was wasn't the same person, but just as a kid she lived across the street from me, and so it was crazy having all that loss, but it was just that week was my fight week. It was nice to stay busy and just keep moving forward, but action's gonna definitely stick with me from here on out.
I love it, man. That's a beautiful tribute. Well, you touched on it, man. A big fight here, ranked opponent in Dan Ige. Talk to
Yeah.
me, man. When they came to you with this matchup, what were your initial thoughts?
Hey man, me and Dan set this up. So I was begging for somebody, and I'm thinking like I'm not that guy that's gonna go on and call everybody out every interview. I'm not gonna sit here and talk trash about people that I don't really know. So I actually messaged Alex Caceres, Julian Arosa, Dan Ige, Sadiq, Bryce Mitchell, because his opponent fell out, not because I thought that I needed that fight or anything, but I was trying to get that fight because his opponent fell out. And then so I messaged everybody, and Dan was the first one that responded, and then Julian hit me up later and said he told me, he's like, oh, I actually got matched up with Alex, and so I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And then me and Dan went back and forth, and he was like, man, you've been killing it. Would love to see you, or I definitely think you deserve a shot at the top 15. Let's see if we can get one more in this year. So we tried to get lined up for December, and it just didn't work out. And they put us on January, but we're the ones that we went back and forth on a message on Instagram, and that was it, man. So
I love it. I love it. Proactive approach, but respectful approach as well. I know you two guys are just guys that want to face the best, right?
Nah, I can't. I couldn't say a bad word about that guy. I think he's a great person outside of fighting. I think he's one of the more respectable fighters as far as he's like that old school. He's there to fight, and he doesn't need all the BS, all the trash talking, and all the stuff. There's only so many people that can come out and talk like that, and I just don't want. I don't want that label. I am a smart ass, but I don't want that label of. Trash talker.
I love it. So like you said, you tried to get it for the end of the year. Instead, it's going to be January 14th right here in Las Vegas. That means, I guess, you've got to train through the holidays. I was just curious, as a dad, is that kind of a challenge and frustrating?
No, man. I got a sick gym set up now in my house. I got my 24-hour membership for the sauna. I got a sauna in my house. I got the gym Fortis. I go there. I'm there every day. I work there. I train there. I come home, I train in my house. I get to sit in my house and just chill with my girls and stuff. So it doesn't faze me at all. Thanksgiving and Christmas never really. The timing of eating and all the bad things like that, it never really meant a lot to me because of wrestling. Because I always knew that I couldn't eat this because I would have to cut the weight. I would have to work 10 times harder, and I just never got into eating bad because of wrestling. But Christmas is my favorite time of year. So when I don't have a fight, I definitely, my wife cooks some really good food, and I love chilling with them and stuff. But this year she's just gonna tweak up the menu a little bit, and she's always good about that. And we'll just kind of eat something a little bit bad, but nothing crazy. My weight's great right now, so I probably could slip up, but I don't really want to.
I know you're a dedicated man, always have been. So, shot at the rankings on the line. I do want to ask you, man. It's kind of an exciting time in the division. Obviously, it's a deep one, but what's your take on Alexander Volkanovski, man? I mean, he's a wild man moving up the lightweight. I mean, do you like his chances against Islam Makhachev, or is this the size going to be too much there? You think?
Honestly, I don't know about the size. Maybe that's the thing, but I think that. The way that he fights, I think he's got the best chance of beating Islam. I think he's got the best chance out of even the 55ers, like the true natural 55ers. I don't think there's anyone in the top 10 that can touch him. And I think Volk is the guy that could touch him. So just with his style, it's a very exciting fight. And I got nothing but respect for him. And the fact that, you got Josh Emmett stepping up, fighting Yuri Rodriguez for the title, and Dan Ige just fought Josh, not that long ago. So it's cool for me to get to test myself against someone that's fought someone that's going for the title. Like Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett, Edson Barboza, all these guys that Dan's fought, and the challenges that he's overcame without getting finished it's really crazy. So to get that test for myself to fight a guy like that that's fought those guys, and then to see how I do against him, and then to watch Josh and Yara Rodriguez, whatever, see them fight. It's a cool time for me for sure, and for the whole division. I think it's moving like crazy. I think it's moving more than any other division. I think there's a lot of guys that kind of sit around and not do anything when they get the title, and I think that Volk's guys like, hey, who's up? Who's up? And same with Izzy. I guess Izzy is kind of the same way. And, it's cool to have him as the champ because he stays so busy.
All right, well, listen, Damon. I mean, obviously, this is a big fight for you. Like I said, a win over a ranked guy. You're certainly going to be in the ratings 5 in a row. Do you have a plan from there? I mean, you're making deals on Instagram. I mean, do you see like the path out to the top from there?
Hey, I'm not, it's kind of like you when you're a kid, and like when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I want to be the UFC champion. And like, once you get going, like, you start doing all the amateur shows, all the pro shows, and you like the build up for it. And then once you get there, it's kind of like, uh, you got to be in the right position the whole time. And I feel like this whole time I haven't been in the right position because I've been outside that top 15. So to get the chance to be in the top 15 means that I'm doing the right thing. So it's like, for me, I'm gonna stay busy. I'm gonna get another fight as soon as I can, and you know, I don't know who's next, man. I just really want to focus on Dan and beat Dan, and I want to, I want to get a finish. I want to go out there and get a finish and show everyone that my skills there and that I can fight these top guys. And that's my game plan right now, man. I don't really have one past Dan, honestly. I kind of just roll with it. Like I told you, I hit 6 guys up. He's the guy who was like, hey, I think you deserve it. I've got nothing but respect for you also. So, whoever that guy is next, whoever's whoever, I don't really care.
I love it, man. Well, on paper, it looks like it's gonna be phenomenal, man. You're talking about two, all action fighters, two
Yeah,
respectful dudes, and it goes down January 14th in Las Vegas. Damon, appreciate the time
yeah.
as always, my man.
No, for sure, man. Yeah, it's good seeing you.